I'm Haley Taylor, and you're listening to the Rough Draft Diaries. This week, we're going to head into the studio and sit down and have a conversation with the university professor. All right, welcome to WGTE Studios. Let me get my mic fixed here. Probably should grab my headphones as well. The first question is really easy. Mm-hmm. It's just if you could state your name and then what your job is.
Yes. My name is Valeria Grinberg Pla. I'm a professor for Spanish and Latin American Cultural Studies at Bowling Green State University.
Now, as we began the interview, Valeria was fairly honest with me and said she was happy to be here but didn't really know what we were going to chat about. And to be honest, I didn't know where to start either. Valeria has a wide range of interests in her research and her teaching. She explores Latin American cultural studies, fiction and history, issues of gender and national identity, critical thinking, memory, films, feminist approaches to literature, Afro-Caribbean music and literature, and crime fiction. And we talked about most of those things, Latin America.
Languages and our culture is an hybrid culture. It's a culture
books and authors,
Horacio Castellanos Moya or Rodrigo Rey Rosa.
And her childhood.
But I was born in Argentina, so I am Argentinian.
I learned a lot about Valeria. She moved in her early 20s from Argentina to Germany, and then 12 years ago received a position at the University of Bowling Green. We talked for about 25 minutes, jumping from subject to subject, but it wasn't until the very end of our interview that Valeria's eyes lit up as she described her true passion.
Did I always know that I could become a professor? I guess I did, but the only thing I always did was dance.
Since Valeria was a child, she was always interested in movement, in tango, yoga, even acrobatics. But to this day, she doesn't separate dance from her academic studies.
Moving or integrating moving into the way we think changes the type of knowledge we produce. Moving, to me, and the contacts I established while dancing helped me talk in a different way.
Maybe it sounds complex, movement and dance helping you think and talk in a different way, but Valeria gives an example that kind of clears everything up.
Has it never happened to you that you are trying to write and you are stuck, and so you get up? You're writing, you sit maybe when you write, and so you get up. And you walk to the kitchen to make a cup of coffee. And by walking to the kitchen, something happens in your head, and you're like, yeah, this is it. Or you go, you have a garden, you go water the plants, whatever. And that activity has an impact. And you thought, oh, I'm stuck, and all of a sudden you're not stuck anymore. So the way you moved had an impact on your thinking process. That's what I mean.
But we go much deeper than just movement affecting thought. Valeria believes movement also affects your identity, especially when that movement is shared within a community.
How is identity defined? Is identity defined in terms of your nationality? Is it identity defined in terms of the languages you speak, your religion? And those are categories we are all familiar with and that are used to define people's identities. But if I go out dancing and I dance with a group of people and I interact with them, the interaction we have there in the dance and in the moment are crossing through these identities that we have, the people we are. Because in dance, I dance with people that have very different jobs than I do, were raised very differently, have different beliefs, political beliefs, religious beliefs. But in the moment we dance, we are able to connect very well, and that allows us to communicate at another level and respect each other in our differences and get to know each other, people I would never have met outside of my little university world. So we construct something different that impacts our identities and transforms them a little, which is important to me.
As you can tell, dance means the world to Valeria. And even though she does have a planned break from her teaching at Bowling Green State University, she couldn't manage to take a break from dancing.
And I am going to use, I think, my sabbatical, part of it, not all of it, to do a training in Gaga, which is a particular type of dancing, a dancing technique developed by Ohad Naharin, a choreographer from Israel. And he's amazing, and he developed this dance technique. And I am like, yes, in my old age, I am going to do that.
I'm Haley Taylor, and thanks for listening to this episode of the Rough Draft Diaries.